Hey, what is up, everybody? Steviebreech coming to you from the Wrestle Center. I had a request from the Big Boss Kid 2020 to bring it back old school style. Another person's channel, just the old school. He deserves a shout out, putting out great videos. Check out both of those guys' channels there for you. So, brought the Wrestle Center back up out of the grave. The Undertaker had buried it for a while with the winter. It's pretty damn cold out here in the garage. Sorry to kill the kayfabe, but it's pretty fun having it all set up. But all in all, I wanted to make another video just about how big The Rock coming back was and what it means. All in all, I put up a video this morning, and I had a few people that just don't really get how big it is that The Rock came back. One person, I'm not going to single him out, throw down any names or anything like that, but the person said that it's not that big of a deal that The Rock came back. He's just a normal wrestler, and that it means nothing. And then I got a personal text from one of my friends today just saying that the match isn't going to be that spectacular. It's going to be Cena whooping The Rock's ass. But it's bigger than that. This is huge. I mean, The Rock is a guy that left wrestling before his his day was done. He still had gas in the tank. He was not even close to passing his prime in the ring. And for anybody that's hating out there saying that The Rock left, to take that money from Hollywood and that he turned his back on the wrestling fans, look, he makes just as much money making one movie, working 3 months out of the year, than he did working the whole year for Vince. I mean, working for Vince is no piece of cake. You got TV shows, you got house shows, you got pay-per-views, you got meet and greets, you got everything. He's working 6, 7 days a week most of the time, all throughout the year. Days off that he gets to call days off most of the time isn't even spent at home. I'm sure he didn't even get to see his home that much at all. So, you know what, Rock? I'm glad that you got to go, in a different direction, make movies, take over Hollywood. Your movies aren't, all that great. Your career started out good, and then it sort of went downhill. But some of your movies that people dog on, Gridiron Gang, that football movie, I love that movie. I think that's a real good movie. I'll stick up for anybody. Doom, I never even gave a chance. You dogged on that the Hall of Fame, so I guess there's no reason for me to even give it a chance anyways. But all in all, The Rock remembers what happened at WrestleMania, how special it was, his match with Hulk Hogan. And when Hogan came back, it was just it was the 80s versus the 90s. It was the golden days against the Attitude Era. And I mean, people are guessing. I'm hoping. I'm dreaming right now. I know that they brought him back as the guest host of WrestleMania, but how else are you going to sneak him in? I'm dying for this dream match. I want to see Cena and Rock. I didn't know I wanted to see it this bad until he just gave it a taste of it. I mean, why else would he call out Cena for the things he said? Why else would he call him Fruity Pebbles? There's no reason for that. If they're not going to build up tension between these guys to have some sort of a dream match, then he never would have said anything about it at all. It would have been The Rock the face, Cena the face. They would have shook hands, they would have smiled for the cameras, and that was it. He wouldn't have said anything like that. They wouldn't have put this dark cloud of tension between these guys. There's got to be some reason for this. The Rock remembers how great it was when Hulk Hogan was able to pass the torch to The Rock, the greatest of the 80s to the greatest of the 90s. And when The Rock left, the WWE was in a weird spot. His last match, WrestleMania 20, he did get in a match. It was The Rock and Sock Connection, him and Mankind, against Evolution, minus Triple H. But it was Randy Orton, Batista, it was Ric Flair. So he was able to work with Batista and Randy Orton, two guys that became main eventers for the WWE, but they weren't quite there yet. John Cena that year was in the opening match. He won the U.S. title from the Big Show, defeated him. He was nowhere near. They weren't 100% sure what they were going to do with Cena. They weren't sure they were going to push him to the moon yet. He was still pretty green. He was over, but he wasn't there. The WWE at that time didn't have any of those main eventers that were young guys that The Rock could have put over, or they would have done that. And pretty soon they were left. They had The Rock and Stone Cold had left. The two guys that were the biggest of the Attitude Era. They weren't able to pass the torch because they left early. And right now, if The Rock is able to give that torch to Cena, it would give Super Cena and this whole, whatever PG era, it would give it some sort of of closure that this is worth it. It means something, and that's exactly what The Rock remembers. I'm sure that's what they're doing. I mean, this is a dream match. It's rumored. It's speculation. But as a guy going to WrestleMania, as a fan, of anything. I'm dreaming. I want this. I hope that you can see this and hear it in my voice. This is huge. This is bigger. I can't understand that people are just sort of like whatevering about this. I went to work today, and I was talking to the wrestling fans. I got two guys that watch wrestling that aren't the smartest fans in the world, but there's a whole bunch of people there that used to watch wrestling in the golden days. And one guy, I told him as we were waiting to clock in, I said, The Rock came back last night. And I didn't even get a chance to tell him what happened. I could see it on his face, the shock, like, what? No way. He already knew that he missed something special, and I said that he was in the ring. He gave at least a 20 to 25 minute promo, and he tore that house down. And, I mean, literally, he had goosebumps. I didn't even have to tell him what was going on, what the angle was, anything. I didn't tell him that they sort of put that little thing between him and Cena, and he knew that he missed something big. And I hope that, you know, this is able to get out in the news and spread around more, that this can get some of the Attitude Era wrestling fans. I mean, there was one day when there was WCW and the WWF, and they were going through the Monday Night Wars. They had the last Nitro, and there was almost 1 million wrestling fans that just didn't watch the next week. You can tell by looking at the ratings. WWF had one number, WCW had another number. I wish I had looked it up because I didn't know I was going to talk about it, but the next week, you would think that all those WCW viewers would jump over and jump on WWF's, you know, Monday Night Raw. But they didn't. Raw's, you know, they got the same numbers they got the week before, and those fans just never came back. And so they got to be somewhere, and something like this would be able to jumpstart even somebody to turn in to wrestling one time. When I left wrestling, it was one show they got me back on. I bought WrestleMania 20, the DVD, when I was going through my doom days and I wasn't watching wrestling anymore. Popped that in, and that got me hooked. That was all I needed. I saw that one show, and then bam, I was watching Raw again every week, and I was sucked in. So I'm hoping that this Rock coming back is bigger than some people think it is, that it's able to energize the company again. I didn't get to say it in the beginning because I messed up and had to do take two, but I got an unboxing here from Edge's The Best One TV. Thank you very much, Alex. We're going to pop that over. He was even able to put Yakum on there on the address label. So I'm going to pop this open. This is from his double unboxing. Pretty cool classic stuff. It only can happen to Alex. Awesome stuff. This is the shirt that was on the site that I thought was really cool that I just had to have. Oh, I got a note just like freaking Yay 88 did. Alright. Oh, it's even funnier when you see it in person. That's Edge's The Best One TV there. I'm sure that's his. It's not his Twitter picture anymore, but it's his YouTube picture, and it says, I thought you'd want my autograph. To Stevie Breech, Alex Larson, Edge's The Best TV. Look at Mr. I'm dashing over here. Damn it, Breech. Yeah, come on. That's classic stuff. That's going on the fridge, and yeah, that's just nothing else can take that away from me. But this is the shirt that we got right there. Look at that. Dashing Cody Rhodes. And look at the back there. Forget it. You can never be as dashing as me. There's nothing better than that right there. You can't call yourself dashing on YouTube unless you got this right here. So, swaggers down. That's for Luke Cage 29 out there. After the night he had, he needed a figure falling off the Wrestle Center. But you know what? This shirt, there's no way to view it unless you view it on the heavenly body here. There you go. That's what a medium looks like on Stevie Breech. Maybe I could pull this off every day. It's pretty tight, but look, it's got a freaking mirror on it, man. You can't go wrong with that. Cody Rhodes, baby. Did I get pushed? I'm glad I got to see Cody Rhodes' last WrestleMania match at WrestleMania 26. What y'all think about that?